This is the blueprint for my life. I couldn't see myself becoming a farmer or a worker in a factory or anything like that. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big.
You have to be brave. You have to be tough. You have to have the discipline to follow through.
Way back when I started training, I visualized what my body should look like to be the best in the world. I was born with an incredible willpower and an enormous positive attitude all my life. I mean, whatever I wanted, I knew I wanted for a reason, because whatever I started, I could see as a finished product. There was never one negative impulse in my last 15 years. Can you imagine you have to doubt that you maybe don't make it? Maybe I will never be a Mr. Universe. That destroys the whole thing. You got to have faith in your vision.
And here's the one the judges find most pleasing. Arnold Schwarzenegger of Santa Monica, California. Born 29 years ago in the Austrian Alps, son of a local police chief. He spent his boyhood at skiing, boxing, weightlifting, soccer. A lifetime athlete. His body has put him on the way to becoming a millionaire.
My parents wanted me to have a normal life.
Schwarzenegger's vision paid off in titles. 5 times Mr. Universe, 6 times Mr. Olympia.
You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. It's like you can have the best ship in the world, you can have the best airplane in the world. If the pilot or the captain doesn't know where to go, he would just drift around. He will not end up anywhere, or most likely in the wrong place.
And then, when I had this vision in front of me all the time, I then could go after that. I mean, you have to have the kind of a mind as a sculptor has, because a sculptor has to do the same thing. He has to look at his art and say, well, it's still not in proportion. I have to take a little bit away here, or I have to put more on here to make it get into proportion. And the same a bodybuilder has to do with his body.
You have to have tunnel vision. And you got to have blinders on and not to see anything that is on the left and the right side, and just really focus, keep your eye on the ball. You have to focus on the thing that you really want to be the best at. And that's what I did, because you cannot be good in everything and you cannot do everything and at the same time be a champion in one thing. There is no such thing. So I decided I wanted to be a champion. I decided that I wanted to go all out.
Michael Jordan said in one of his interviews, when they said, "You are unbelievable, you're the greatest basketball player of all times." I mean, tell me about that. And he says, well, you're just mentioning the successes. But he says, for me to become the greatest basketball player, I missed 9,000 shots when I was playing basketball at the NBA games. So during these games that he was so successful, he missed 9,000 shots. Does it make him a failure? No. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all times, but he failed 9,000 times. Do you get it? We all fail. We all have losses. This is okay, and this is why I say don't be worried about losing, because when you're afraid of losing, then you get frozen. It's okay to fail. Let's just go all out and give it everything that you got. That's what it is all about. So don't be afraid to fail.
It is very important that you don't listen to the naysayers, because in every step of the way, when you make decisions like, I want to be a bodybuilding champion of the world, people say this is impossible, this is an American sport, it's never going to happen. When I wanted to be in the movies, they said you have an accent, it's never going to happen. No one ever became a leading man when you have an accent. You have a huge body, you weigh 250 pounds, you look like a monster.
Imagine. You go from studio executive to studio executive, from agent to agent, from manager to manager, and they all said exactly the same thing. Now that's very encouraging, isn't it? But you know something? I didn't give a shit. I believed that I can be a leading man. I believed that I could be another Clint Eastwood, or another Burt Reynolds, or another Warren Beatty, or whatever those characters were, Charles Bronson and so on. I believed that I could be those people. I said, there's enough room on that ladder that I can fit up there. And I looked back again and learned from what I learned in sports. In my case, in bodybuilding. It's all about the hard work that you put in. I said to myself, in bodybuilding, I worked out 5-6 hours a day. I'm going to do the same thing now for acting. And of course, I went to college to study English, acting classes, and all of this stuff, all day long. I worked and I worked and I worked.
Even in politics, when I ran for governor, they said, are you crazy? You're an actor. You're a businessman. I mean, you're not a politician. You should start to be a mayor first and maybe an assemblyman or senator, but not to be around for governor. So I never listened to the naysayers because I believed what Nelson Mandela said, that everything is always impossible until someone does it.
Work your ass off. There is no magic bill. There is no magic out there. You cannot get around. You have to work and work and work. I can tell you.
In order to be complete, and that's when you really have a 100% chance at being successful. When you have a complete situation, that means that you have developed your body, meaning your health, your strength, your energy, and all of that makes you much more positive, right? Because that's when you wake up, when you feel strong and you feel fit and you ride the bicycle in the morning, you know, the whole world looks much more bright. So the training of the body, extremely important. The training of the mind, extremely important. That's why I say to people, I say, you got to educate yourself, you got to read something every day, you got to learn a new language, you got to just always improve and look at what can you do to improve your business or your life in general. So to develop the mind, and then to develop the spiritual side and the soul, extremely important also. So if we put those three things together, we have total completion.
And it's very important to understand that we function better if there is no safety net, because plan B becomes a safety net. It says that if I fail, then I fall and I get picked up and I have something else there that will protect me. And that's not good, because people perform better when there's no safety net. People perform better in sports and everything else if you don't have a plan B. I've never ever had a plan B. I say I made a full commitment that I'm gonna go and be a bodybuilding champion. I made a full commitment that I'm gonna be in America. I made a full commitment that I'm going to get in the show business and I'm going to be a leading man. No matter what it takes, I will do the work. I will do the work over and over and over until I get it. And the same was in politics and everything like that. So to me, it is very dangerous to have a plan B, because you're cutting yourself off from the chance of really succeeding. And the reason, one of the main reasons why people want to have a plan B is because they are worried about failing. What is if I fail, then I don't have anything else? Well, let me tell you something, don't be afraid of failing, because there's nothing wrong with failing. You have to fail in order to climb that ladder.